what's that one thing that you feel like has stood the test of time, kept on helping you manage conflict better?
You guys have like a day in a month where you guys discuss certain things together and everything.
Okay, did you say? Conflict in family may have its complexities, but it remains an unavoidable part of our lived experiences. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Ochua, your neighborhood expert on all things conflict management, dispute resolution, and healthy dialogue. Today, I'm joined by 4 special guests who are perfectly suited to discuss conflict in this context. This is LTAI Table. Let's meet our guests. So we'll start to my right.
Hey, hi, my name is Olamidayo, and I'm a soldier of Jesus. I'm actually a strategic marketer, and I'm here with my brother Olaomi.
Yeah, hi, I'm Olaomi, property manager, developer, and sports facilitator.
Welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Buhi. I'm a banker. As my brother, I'm Ohai. I'm a lifestyle content creator.
Lovely to have you guys here. Thank you all for joining us. So today we're going to be discussing conflict in this context, and I decided to explore it through the lens of, the sibling relationship, because it's always a fundamental part of every family's dynamic. So let's start with a show of hands. How many people here have heard of love languages or are familiar with their own love languages?
I've heard of familiar.
Okay. But you know what it means if I say love language. Okay. All right. With another show of hands, how many people are familiar with their conflict languages?
No, I never heard of that.
Really? Amazing. Okay. More than I was expecting, because most people are absolutely clueless when it comes to conflict languages. But in fact, they're actually called conflict styles, and everyone has one. So the conflict styles are collaborating, competing, compromising, accommodating, and avoiding. So just off of those names alone, do you guys feel like you can quickly identify which one you think you fit best with?
Yeah.
Depends on the day, but yeah.
Okay. Dio?
Yeah, I think mine initially starts up with avoidant. Then it becomes, what's the other one? Collaborating.
Okay.
Lots of avoidance.
Yeah. Interesting. Same. Okay. Flami?
What 3 again?
So there's actually 5 of them. So it's collaborating, competing, compromising, accommodating, and avoiding.
Ooh, compromising.
Very interesting. Right. So typically we find that conflict styles are actually very closely linked to our general personalities. So if you're an avoidance style in conflict, then it probably has a lot to do with the kind of person you are just in general. Right. And do you guys find that is true for you? Like your personality is very closely linked with how you manage conflicts?
Yeah, I'll say for me it is. I think I'm naturally reserved per se. So when I have conflict, my first thing is it seems as if I'm being avoidant because I'm trying to think of what is happening before I speak. Then after that, I'm collaborating because I want to understand both perspectives. Like, it's not a competition. It's just an understanding.
Yeah. Anyone else feel like it's linked?
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
No, you go in.
But I think, I'll definitely avoid that, but then I like the compromise one as well. Because now come to
But do you find yourself compromising in conflict or more so avoiding?
Depends on the situation.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, that's very, very interesting. So another thing that's also very closely linked with our personalities is that in families, a lot of us start to kind of assume certain roles and responsibilities, which are closely tied to our personality. So if you're more type A in your family, you'll kind of become the family manager and things like that. Do you guys feel like that's the same for you in your families?
I mean, it's that type A. What do you mean?
So if you're more organized, just naturally as a person with your own
You
come early to places, you'll start to kind of have that responsibility put on you in the family context. So everyone will now start looking to you to be the one to organize stuff for the family, things like that. Do you feel like?
I think in the family rule, with siblings, a couple of persons, right? Being the firstborn, because we're the firstborn,
Okay.
generally have taken on that responsibility of managing. So that was comes to us naturally, but we've grown into that role.
All right. Do you feel like that comes in terms of your own dynamic with each other? How those roles and responsibilities, seeing as you guys are, you share the responsibility of being the firstborns. Does anybody try to lord anything over the other person, or does one feel more responsible for the other person?
Not necessarily. So I think for us, you started the conversation around the different kinds of conflict styles. For us, we don't really have that.
Okay.
We have a system. And the system overrides how anybody feels, what anybody thinks at the time.
Okay, so I like that you mentioned systems, but I'm going to put a pause on that and hopefully we can circle back to that. So one system that I think is very common, or I see that's definitely prevalent in my own family structure, and most people I talk to have something similar, where it's when you have disputes with your siblings, there's not really that room to like, let's sit down and really like rehash it. It's more so like you fight with your sibling, you get obsessed about it, and after some time you all just kind of like move on from it. So that's kind of like a system that I think is very prevalent in most families. Do you guys operate that same system where like, or are you very big on like accountability? Let's sit down, let's talk about it, or do you just allow things to move on? Because people even say that's the difference between like siblings and friends, right? So when is your sibling, it's just like, I beg.
Yeah, not anyway.
Yeah. I think you're right in terms of that. Like it happens a lot where something happens and eventually just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, as opposed to actually sitting down and having a discussion about it.
I'm not like that. So it's no whatever. Like, I think I'm very big on accountability. So like if, it's like when someone doesn't say sorry and he just tries to act like everything is normal.
It's fine, right?
Unless it's something that has to do with like the house, maybe open the door or do certain things. I can be like, okay, yeah, whatever, I'll just do what I need to do. But then, if I have an issue with any sibling of mine or even allow me, I'm very big on accountability. Like you have to own what you did and then I can own what I did. If not, there's no really moving on. And then I think that's how resentment comes about, because then you're expecting the person to act a certain kind of way every single time. So yeah, I'm big on accountability, even with friendship.
But even accountability is still part of it. But I'm just saying, like in regards to like siblings, a lot of times in taking Nige or even around
issues.
It's usually like eventually
it kind of moves on from it.
Moves on. But you still have to be accountable, as in just your sense.
So I love that you mentioned accountability, Dario, because that was going to be my next question, right? So it seemed like everyone agreed that system of just like brushing things under the carpet is most prevalent. And I was going to ask, how do we then prevent resentment from creeping in if we're all operating this system of let's just move on from it? What do you think that thing is that stops you from then becoming like resentful? How do you actually how is it just not something that's like swept under the rug that is actually burning in your chest versus something that's actually gone, like swept away?
So for us, like it depends on the issue. There's some issues where like you're like, I was like, that was just whatever.
Yeah.
But like a major issue, I feel like you have to discuss it. And then also finding like ways that you feel comfortable talking about it. For us, our guys, so I don't think we ever got to a point where we're like shouting at each other. Something happened this week. Like, I don't know if you saw that thing of like Temi and Mr. Easy talking about like.
Oh, yes.
The first time it ever happened, I expressed that with he. So we had an idea. Something happened, I don't know what it was. And then he now sent me a long ass text telling me, I was saying things. We dropped smoke together, came down, he said, look, but once I just get to the office, I just saw my phone. I know lost me text. But then, based on I know I've messed up, I would apologize. So I feel like we're not like talk about it like face to face, but like we have ways of settling
things. So I think that takes us back to the conversation around systems that we had brought up earlier. So for both of you, both sets of siblings, what are the systems that you guys have put in place? One, and two, how did you actually reach that understanding of like, okay, this is how we're going to be handling matters?
Because you say you have systems.
But you must have it.
No, I'm sure there's a...
Even if it's an unspoken system.
I'll let them go first.
Okay.
Go first. So for us, I think in our younger days, we had like times where like, okay, we would fly, not physically, but like he'll do something I don't like, won't speak for days. That was if I went to uni. Then when I went to uni at the time, it was just us. So like, we didn't, we had friends, but like, it was us. So we had to deal. So at that time, if something happened, we'll talk about it. But it wasn't institutionalized in the sense that, okay, we talk about things on this day, every month, non-stop. Then we moved back, I think, in 2020. And at the time, I think I started working before him. Yes. So, what we started doing was, okay, we would spend my money and we'd save his money. So, based on that, you have to be accountable, you have to be open, you have to be honest. So that was in uni then. We'll spend my what's it called? Allowance, and we'll save his. Then we moved back and I started working. We would share my salary. He didn't have a job at the time. So based on that, I think he wasn't open to it. He wasn't open to it. Do you remember that? It was strange. He wasn't open to it, but I was like, nah, like we've always done it. So that's how we started. My own salary at the time would share it. They started working. So we'd save his salary, we'll spend money. And we still, to today, we still do that. But to get, but for that to happen, we have to sit down every month. So on the 18th of every month, non-stop, we sit down, we talk about finance, emotions, literally anything. Open, honest. No one is judging. No one is shouting. I mean, when shout, we're like, and like, he don't shout at me because he hates me. Shout at me because he wants the best for me.
Okay.
And we've institutionalized it and it works.
Okay. That's really cool. So, okay, let me ask this. Because I caused a little bit of like that whole thing of you having a little bit of pushback to the idea. Would you say that it was kind of like a moment of vulnerability for you in that?
You know, because he was working, I wasn't working. So I was like, why is the guy trying? But they understood it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing of like, we've been doing this like while we've been talking about it was continuing. Yeah. Right? So, yeah, there was a bit of like, oh man, this guy's working, I'm not working. Not like, I'm jealous of him.
Course,
but like, you don't have to do that. Like, cool. When I get my job, I'll be fine.
Right.
But then him doing that also showed me that he cared about me. So it was a moment where we could
come together. So I always say that, like when people ask me for advice around conflict management, I always say that vulnerability and transparency are like my first. If you haven't tried that, start with that first. Before I even give you any kind of complicated theory, start with that. And I love that you guys' story really displays how that has really helped you to kind of stay locked in. Thank you guys. All right. So we've talked a lot about like the whole systems and everything. So I just want everybody to give me a yes or no answer now, right? Is reconciliation always necessary or is understanding enough? We'll start with, allow me. Yes or no?
First part is yes.
So you think?
Yeah, yes. I know.
No, but yes. You asked me if
yeah, so you think reconciliation is always necessary. So understanding is not enough.
No, you have to always reconcile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll say no.
Yeah.
Say no.
So you think understanding is enough?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think understanding is enough. Because we're talking about siblings here.
Right.
So, I mean, I've spent how many years with this lad? 9 years now.
They don't always have to sit down and
understand now.
There we already know your answer.
Yeah, mine is yes.
Yes, reconciliation is always necessary. Okay. I think for me, I would say understanding is enough. I think understanding is enough. I think in this context with like siblings, because I think about my own relationship with my siblings, and I think sometimes even trying to have that reconciliation conversation, because you have an understanding of your sibling, you already know that this is probably going to even cause more problems. Yes. Because when we start talking about it,
that means I'm confused because I thought like sometimes you have to understand exactly why somebody did something. But I feel like reconciliation to me is like no matter what, you guys would always come together, right? Yeah. So if reconciliation is enough, that means you're saying that you can understand and just go separate ways.
No, reconciliation is like talking about it versus like, I know, I understand the way you are, so I just
I'm not for
she already talked about accountability. Yeah, she needs to talk about
like, let's get to the root of
it. Makes sense. Okay. So what would you guys say for both of you is like one thing that has helped you to manage conflict over the years? Because obviously you guys have grown, you've been siblings forever. That's the thing about siblings. They see you through every single stage of your life, from when you're a baby to when you're, you know, how they say it's from cradle to grave, right? So what's that one thing that you feel like has stood the test of time that in every season, at every age of your lives has kept on helping you manage conflict better as siblings?
Prayer.
I love that.
Prayer. Prayer.
I think for me it's grace. Like whenever you just give, obviously we'll always have conflict.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be bigger things. Like I don't know, let me not say anything about it. But then there'll be things that will have conflicts in the future. Whatever. If I get married, we'll have kids, different jobs, whatever it would be, and everything. But grace, because at the core, I know that Balami wants the best for me and I want the best for him.
Yeah.
So no matter what he does, I don't think he's trying to be evil or malicious to do something against me. So then I always have a back of my mind that, okay, this guy, you know, cares about me. So therefore I'm not going to look and like, so he did this to me. He must be so wicked. Like, he hates me so much. That's what I'm saying. Like, we just need to talk about it. So grace and communication, I guess.
Okay. Thank you.
I think a strong family structure.
Okay.
Because when we were young, my parents puts in our brains that like, which I know you have with your family. So like, you guys are always together, like push for that bond to the point where like, now it's like a normal thing. And like, if anything happens, before I call anybody, let's speak to my brother. So I already have that like, I already depend on him for so much that I think he always has my best interest at heart, like you said.
Yeah.
So even if he does something that annoys me, I'll be upset. But I won't think about it from the point of view that, oh, this guy did this thing to
maliciously.
Yes, it hurt me, but I don't think he was trying to me.
Intentionally.
So that's why I move from in terms of.
So that's where intentions and actions come into play. So true, because sometimes you may do something and the action may not necessarily be, favored by, you or but then you should always, and as your understanding also comes into place, because you have to understand like the intention is not just malicious. That's why that reconciliation
is
necessary. Because
so
sometimes
when you talk about it, you'll now know where were you coming from.
Exactly.
Sorry, I need to go back to that.
Okay.
You did something.
Okay, did you say yours?
No. I'll pick you back off what he said. Right? I think understanding is key. I mean, it could be a situation where, let's say, he raises his voice at me, and it could be maybe something else that doesn't have to do with me.
Yeah.
I just realized, okay, I didn't like that. In that moment, I wouldn't attack him based on I know that this is not normal.
Yeah.
But we'll speak about it. We'll speak about it, and I understand that at the end of the day, it's still my best interest at heart. So.
Okay. So before we circle back to you, Dai, I wanted to also explore the fact that, I mean, you guys are twins, right? And so even though you guys are both sets of siblings, I think there's like a bit of a difference between like the sibling relationship and the twin sibling relationship. So just for like your experience, and like I'm sure you guys have other friends that have like siblings and you get to kind of observe, even if it's from like an outsider point of view. Do you think that there are any differences or there's anything about the fact that you guys are not just siblings but you're identical twins that kind of like influences how you manage conflict? Or do you think it's just like a sibling thing? You don't think it really makes a difference?
At the root of it is we're siblings. So you can't take anything away from that.
Okay.
It's also transitions into how we deal with our younger siblings as well. So we're close because we've intentionally built this, not because of, we share the womb. I don't think that really matters. It's like a muscle.
Right.
We've trained over the years.
Fun fact, did you guys know that when you start having kids, your kids will be half siblings?
I hope so. Yeah, that'll be cool.
No, like biologically.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Because you guys have, I think it's like 99 point something DNA match. So your kids are not just, basically. Your children are not just cousins. They're like biologically almost siblings.
I have a question. Do you guys choose your haircuts as in to be the same or? And is someone
it's a mirror now. It works on him. It looks good on him.
I love that. He says it's my mirror. So he puts it on him.
It works on him. Then let's try.
Like you guys, like who went bald first?
During COVID, I just trimmed them so I could. But now my hairline is gone, so.
But your hairline is right.
Put it on.
Okay.
Okay, Dai, I think you wanted to touch on something.
Yeah, I was going to talk about when he mentioned about your intention. So one thing that I think affects people when they're handling conflict is people are so focused on, my intention wasn't to do this, my intention wasn't to do that. But then that could come after like taking accountability, because sometimes I can be walking past him right now. I've stepped on his leg. It wasn't my intention to step on his leg, but I have stepped on his leg. Yeah. If he now says, you've hurt me, you stepped on me, and I say, but my intention wasn't to step on you.
That defensive.
Yeah. Do you get? So the first I would do is, I'm sorry that I did this to you. And then I'll not say, but my intention was actually to do this.
Yes.
So when I'm addressing conflicts with my siblings, for example, I would literally like, if me and them have a disagreement about something, I first would be like, okay, sorry that this happened, but at the same time, this is what I was trying to do, this and this. Because if you just focus so much on your intention, that's a selfish way to go about it.
Yeah, so I hear that. I actually made a video about this on the Let's Talk About It Instagram and TikTok recently about defensive people. And a few people actually reached out to me and they were like, oh my God, yes, this is like, because I said that I was like, I give 2 steps. And the second one was acknowledge points that have been made before you recognize points that you disagree with, right? And I know how many people were in my DMs being like, yes, thank you. This is exactly what I've been trying to tell this person or that person. So I think it's definitely very, very key. Okay, so my final question for everyone here is, when siblings are in conflict, what do you think that they are actually seeking from each other? What do you think is the thing that like you really want your sibling to understand? Or what do you think that in your experience, you found that like your sibling is really looking for from you when you are in conflict?
I think for me, it's understanding. Just understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
I feel like if you understand me better, then the relationship can be deeper and I can push forward. If there's no understanding, you can't move forward like at all. So if I understand why he's the way he is, and he understands why I am the way I am, then we can move forward. And sometimes you don't have to fully understand the person, but you also have to be open to understanding the person. Yeah. So I think that's the only, that's how we're able to move forward. So,
Okay. Thank you. Allow me. What would you say? Yes. What are you looking for, and what do you think your sibling is looking for from you when you're in conflict?
Obviously context is key. Context is key. But I think in general, I think I just follow from what she said. Yes, just understanding, like, being heard. And
I like that.
everyone has to be heard, Yeah. So being heard, and then, taking what you've, heard, and then taking that to,
Literally.
so
When I teach workshops on conflict, one of the core competencies that we address is listening in terms of active listening. So learning to listen with intent and not just hear, because hearing is more of like a passive experience. Listening requires intention and understand. So I definitely agree with that.
But even like with me personally, like when there's like an issue, I don't like when people pick on things. Like if I send like a message or I'm discussing something, I don't like when you just like, picked on a setting. You should just there's a whole
context,
Yeah.
picture. I've noticed
because
because
I don't really.
I think that happens when people are listening to respond.
Yeah, and
Like
that's
that, they read that
Yeah,
message
yeah.
thinking,
Right.
this is what I want to say back.
Nobody's perfect at it.
that's the worst thing. That even kills the conversation.
Exactly.
When you're nitpicking certain things. Because you can't move forward. Because that means you're trying to win the
Yes,
arguments. You're not trying to
Really
understand actually
Yes.
what is going on.
If you tell someone like, oh, on Tuesday you offended me, it's like, no, it was Monday. It's like, are you crazy? Like, bro, is it? Come on, like, so yeah, things like that. Yeah, that's my own opinion.
Okay.
So I think it's a solution, right? So any problem that comes up between any relationship in general, right? We're looking for a solution. The problem is the problem, not the person. So I'd always say, okay, X, Y, and Z has come up. How do we solve this? It's not. I won't say it's your fault. You did this. I told you so. Just come together and work to a solution together. I think that's the best way to go about it.
Very good.
I think it's just that safe space to understand each other, like just creating that like opportunity for the siblings to feel like if anything happens, they can come to you and talk to you about it, and you would listen.
Yeah.
Then because some people that they're really not going to go listen, so why bother?
Right.
Like if I feel like that with my sibling, then what's the point?
Exactly.
So I feel like it's the safe space.
Yeah.
Sorry, one thing I just thought of now is that some people can actually just be siblings but not friends with their sibling. Like you can actually just exist and you
We share blood.
like,
Parents give it to us.
literally, but, like,
I don't know you like that.
I don't. You guys are not close.
But how would you then fix that?
So sometimes,
I feel like parents should be involved too.
yes,
Because
100%.
I realized that one of the reasons why, like what you said, before we got to this system thing, God is involved, but parents are also involved.
Yeah.
I think,
Sorry.
No, go on.
From a young age, I feel for my grandparents and my parents, they always ingrain, that you have your sibling with. And then I was young, I didn't really know what it meant, but like, as I get older now, I realize that, bro, your siblings are everything. Because one day your parents will go. Hopefully your parents go before you guys.
Right.
You guys will still have that system. And the years of growth together, actually, it compounds. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like your siblings are really like that safe, like I said, that safe space to be able to talk about anything, understand each other is very important.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. 100%. I love that. Okay, you guys. So this is my final real final question now. This is what we're going to leave the audience with, right? Okay. So if you could rewrite one unspoken rule about conflict in families, what would it be?
One unspoken rule.
Right or right?
Rewrites.
Is that unique to my family or general?
In
Do you know
families.
what?
So conflict in families. Rewrite one unspoken rule.
I know.
But your rewrites could be writing your own.
I know. I'm saying
Yeah, please go for it, actually.
It should be behind closed doors.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, there's something. Yeah, one thing I told her, like, when we're younger, I always tell her he will never argue because of people. So, like, even if we do something now, I'll clock it. Or get that I can. Yeah, so I feel like
People are enemies.
I feel like you should never like make your sibling or your partner or whoever
Yeah.
look stupid in front of other people because that also like makes them like not trust you. Like I can't be my full self.
Starts to look at you like an up, like I'm not safe around this person.
And it also gives room for other people to
Comments, I think
Yeah.
he's the
You
person.
say that, yeah.
So if we had an argue and he comments,
Yeah.
bro, I'm going to tell you to get out.
Fuck out there.
Let me just deal with my brother. Do you understand? Like let me do it and all that. So
Yeah.
therefore, like you should never be in front of people.
I love that.
Should never be in front of people.
Okay.
An unspoken rule. I agree with what he said actually, but I feel like honest communication regularly. Like I took that from what you guys just said. Now you guys have like a day in a month where you guys.
Actually, it's
Oh really? You guys discuss certain things
Yeah.
together and everything. I think that is an unspoken rule. And sorry, something I just remembered as well was that I think you should also have people that both of you respect to help
Yes.
your bond get
Yeah.
stronger. I'm not trying to say like it's like a marriage.
Yeah.
But I feel like even in the Bible, you know, it does say that if you have an issue with somebody, get somebody that is close to the two of you
Yes.
involved, then another person
Yes,
can also
yes,
find with
yes.
God and everything like that. So I think if people care about your relationship and they see that there's an issue, there should be a parent or another sibling that can come
Yes.
together and bring you guys together. If not, like,
I agree.
do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Things like what they said, that's where parents also
Yeah,
have to
parents
be
also-
involved.
parents have to get involved
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Care about me.
And if you don't have you don't have parents, like a mentor.
Yeah.
Your friend,
you trust.
Just someone that's
Someone you trust,
someone that's
safe
mature,
space.
yeah.
And has your best
That
interest.
Best interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what everyone has said. So, yeah, but
Don't cry, don't cry.
It's right, yeah. But unspoken rule, I think communication is just
Yeah.
communication and everything, every single thing was just the most
Very
important thing.
important.
It should always be you and said person against the problem.
Mm.
Yeah. So just I'll drop that gem.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone. You guys have been like amazing. This conversation has been so insightful. You guys have heard everything they've said about managing conflict in families. So try it out and let us know what you think. Bye.